2016 was the year. It was a perfect setup for Gordon Collins. He had learned from two All-Americans in Seth Fisher and Jacoby Green. Now it was his time.
The 30, he's at the 20, the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone, touchdown!
Fate would rear its ugly head in the Spiders' second game of the season.
Rolls to the right and hits Gordon Collins, who has the first down. Collins takes a hard hit by Chapman at the end of the play, and Collins not getting up.
I guess a bunch of thoughts and emotions ran through my mind. One was, would I ever play again, of course, even though I was sure I would, but there was a possibility. And then I realized that that atmosphere that I was in right then and there, I wasn't going to be in for a while. So it was very upsetting.
Gordon's knee was definitely more damaged than most. He had torn the meniscus on both sides of his knee, and in fact the one on the outside was completely torn off. The back half of it was torn away. So I had to completely repair that meniscus back down. The other meniscus had torn through, and I had to repair that together. He injured the ligament on the inside of his knee called the MCL, and the capsule, which is the balloon of the lining of the joint, in addition to his ACL, and he knocked a big piece of cartilage and bone off of the femur bone on the outside of his knee. It's called the lateral femoral condyle, and he damaged that as well. So I had a tremendous amount of work to do in his knee.
It was very tough. You know, obviously, I've always played football to get a shot to do this and hopefully do more. But yeah, I finally got there. I was waiting behind Seth and Jacoby, great players, and then I earned my shot, and I kept it. You know, I got that spot, and I had it after that game against UVA. It was pretty secure, and everything was going really well. And then, I mean, this was tragic. It sucked, but retrospectively, I guess, looking on it now, this is something that I really had to overcome. It's really nice to have something that I had to physically overcome.
Overcoming obstacles is nothing new to Collins. Born in South Carolina, Collins and his two siblings were removed by CPS when he was just 5 months old. The trio were taken in by Collins' aunt and uncle, but just a few months later, Collins was legally adopted by Bobby Jones, the cousin of Gordon's biological mother, and Phil Wedding of Stafford, Virginia. Bobby was unable to have children of her own due to a severe case of diabetes. Gordon quickly became the apple of her eye.
Knowing that someone didn't have to have me, but really wanted me and was willing to sacrifice everything that they could have without a child, and she still wanted me along with my dad, it speaks tremendously of her and her character and how much she truly loved me, which means a lot to me. I feel like a lot of her characteristics and traits have been passed to me. I guess in a way I'm kind of a mama's boy because you know, always being with her. And as a child, I was really, really connected to her. Like, I never left her hip. I was always following her around and stuff. And I mean, I guess even as I got older, it was still kind of like that. But also as I was growing older, seeing everything she had to go through, it was a lot. And I feel like it really made me better. I had to mature quicker, I think.
Throughout his life, he saw Bobby battle through over 200 hospital visits, nearly 50 surgeries, and many other complications. For Gordon, it was a first-hand example of being tough and resilient.
Seeing all these things and growing with her, seeing what she had to go through, dealing with the minor things I had to go through, really gives me a bigger perspective on life. And it's easier to put petty things aside, knowing, like, seeing how fast it can go by.
Seeing Bobby go through the struggles, Gordon needed an outlet of sorts. It was evident from an early age that football would become just that.
Especially when I was little, my mom really did not want me to play. She said, "You're gonna get hurt," you know, of course. She said all this stuff. And my dad was like, "I'll just let him play." So she gradually gained support from me, but he's always been a big supporter of football and helping me get through things that maybe she couldn't.
I think it's meant a lot. It's bonded us, you know, together. I mean, and I supported him, you know, what he wanted to do, and I still support him.
Football is everything. It's been my outlet. You know, when I didn't want to talk to anybody maybe when I was younger, and maybe struggling with whatever. I mean, football was definitely my outlet. That was my time to go out and do whatever I wanted on the football field. There's no rules, you know, you're not allowed to just run up and hit somebody in real life. So maybe when I was younger and I was angry, you know, I'd go outside and hit somebody. So it was really a way to release anger, I guess, and I truly just loved the sport. The team. I love the fact that it's a team sport, and if somebody messes up, somebody does something wrong, it affects everyone. I feel like that's a very important principle to learn.
As he grew older, Collins and his dad quickly realized that football could lead to other opportunities, but it would take a lot of hard work and proving doubters wrong, something that Gordon was used to.
You know, he talked about, you know, getting a scholarship, and I said, you know, like I said in there, it's not going to be given to you. You got to earn it. And I kept telling him that, and he worked, you know, worked to get that.
Life would challenge Gordon yet again in 2014. He had just finished up his high school football career and was facing a decision on his college career. However, something much more important was on Gordon's mind. Bobby's illness had become too much. On January 16, 2014, at the age of 45, Bobby Jones passed away.
Obviously, the death is difficult. Someone, especially like in the situation, she really didn't have to have me. She took me. Like, that bond was very, very, very strong. But at the same time, the bond was so strong. I feel like she's never left. Sometimes, you know, she's always with me. Everything she left me with to build upon in my life. I feel like I'm a lot stronger because of her. And when she actually passed away, obviously I was very sad, I was very upset, it was traumatic, but I mean, she already had put all these building stones into me to make me ready. Like, she prepared me, because we both knew, like, when I also became aware of the situation, I was aware that it was going to happen eventually, maybe when I was very young. But she always, we were very open about it, and when the time came, it hit me. But at the same time, I don't know, I was happy to see her not have to struggle anymore, because it's too much. Yeah. But sad to see her go.
Football continued to be Collins' outlet. This time, that outlet was at the University of Richmond.
Having a team, it is really another family, and I think maybe I buy in more to that, more to that than other people, because of my circumstances. You know, always having those guys that are going to be with you through thick and thin, on the field, off the field, especially when you get to college. Like, through high school football, those guys will be my friends for life. When you get to college, I mean, I'm living with these people for 4 or 5 years. It's really special.
After suffering a devastating injury like Collins did in 2016, most would have hung it up. But not Gordon. He had been proving the doubters wrong and overcoming challenges all his life. Why stop now?
My life has been great. I've been blessed. That's how I guess at the same time as, I don't know, it's a mix of emotions. At the same time as I would compare myself when I was younger, at the same time I was so happy with where I was at. Because, I mean, I'm loved, I'm taken care of. Well, when I was little, I was spoiled. I got everything I wanted. But as I got older, things changed. But I was always loved. I was always taken care of really well. They always cared about me. They always loved me. My dad still does. My mom still does too.